Hello and welcome to the Shifts and Pucks News Pack for Monday, October the 24th. You can follow us on Twitter at Shifts and Pucks, Facebook.com Shifts and Pucks, YouTube.com Shifts and Pucks, Twitch.com Shifts and Pucks. Subscribe wherever you get your audio, as well as on the Area 51 Sports Network. As we go through the news of the day, we'll recap the Vancouver Canucks weekend as they play tonight against the Carolina Hurricanes. We'll talk about the Flames and what happened with them this weekend and against those same Carolina Hurricanes as well. Get into the three stars of the week and a little bit of other injury news. As it's a busy night for a Monday in the National Hockey League. We'll start with the Canucks uh, home opener Saturday night, and it was a rough one to say the least. They lose 5-1 to the Sabres, down for the first time, down 2-0. Get a one goal back, but couldn't get their footing back, and it was a dramatic night overall. Just a crowd started to boo, jerseys thrown on the ice, 4 jerseys thrown on the ice. Then you had Jim Rutherford go on after hours and make the comments that he made. So, for those who missed it, Rutherford said that they didn't have a good camp. He went on to say some other things as well. Talked about this idea of a rebuild and how long it would take, and build this on the fly. It was, you know, uh, described the team hard to watch. Described a number of different. It was a just a uh, rough time for the Canucks. Um, Asked about the injuries, said when you have injuries, you've got to have a next man up and have to be ready to go. I believe if our team has a really strong structure, you can play through those things. So criticizing the structure, didn't give a vote of confidence to Bruce Boudreau. Um, didn't just not a review of any positivity or hope coming from Jim Rutherford. Then you have uh, Bruce Boudreau feeling frustrated. You had Jersey on the ice. JT Miller was asked about it. A number of different players were asked about it today, in the last couple of days. Uh, Sean and Tyler are going to get into this tomorrow when they do the Canucks podcast, but this is becoming more about a lot more than puck patience and a lot more about puck management. Puck management is an issue, but this team needs again I think it needs some new voices in that roster. Whether you think that is a rebuild or how this team's direction going forward, it's a stale, stagnant, general overall roster. Um, and yes, starting to win will start to cure a lot of the things that are going on with the Canucks for sure. But uh, look back on that game on Saturday, the Sabres only had one power play. I believe here, it's not like the Sabres were, you know, the the Sabres are a damn hardworking team. Let's not dismiss that sort of thing. But um, and this, well, Rasmus Dahlin. We'll talk about Rasmus Dahlin here in a moment. But I mean, you know, Victor Olofsson 3 points, uh, one power play. The Sabres had one power play the entire game. The Canucks had four, and just it was a rough night for the fan. Like, look, I'm not going to sit here and condone throwing anything on the ice, but I will, and I do understand why this fan base right now is frustrated with this team. Uh, from management to the players to the coach, there was an expectation of something different, and that hasn't been delivered uh, on here. So, going to be, I'll be interested to hear what Sean and Tyler talk to you about the podcast about. Um, we'll just hear that perspective. You had the scratch from Hoglander, looks like he's going to be back in, but there's other injuries here, long term. here. Injuries or here. Quinn Hughes missed the game Saturday. He looks like he's going to be week to week, won't play tonight. Boeser, day to day, also out tonight. Travis Dermott, week to week, also out. So, Jillian Breezebach called up. Looks like he's going to play tonight. So we'll see what this lineup looks like. Just see what the lines look like. Carolina, coming off this game against Calgary, just from Carolina's perspective, coming in here, they're one of the best teams in the National Hockey League. I thought played very well 5-on-5. Seemed to, they seem to have that identity. We talk about Jacob Slavin being underrated. You know who else is underrated? Sebastian Aho is also on that list of underrated players, I think. Carolina, a lot of people have them favored to go at least to the final, possibly win the cup. So this is not going to be an easy challenge for the Vancouver Canucks tonight at all. And then you've got 2 more games this week. You've got the Kraken, who are a really hardworking team, by the way. This is not going to be, that's not a bingo card win in any way, shape, or form for the Canucks. And then you've got Sidney Crosby and the Pittsburgh Penguins in on Friday. So that's the week for the Vancouver Canucks. Got to get a win here soon. Can't linger in this 0-win territory. So we'll see what happens with the Canucks. And I think there'd be a little bit of a sigh of relief if the Canucks at least can win tonight. Can get that pressure off for the next couple of days. Get sort of a better feeling in this market, in this room, in this atmosphere. But it's right now it's not looking good. Not a good situation in Vancouver at all. As for Calgary, it's a different situation, and it's interesting when I watch these two teams. You watch this Vancouver team get down 2-0, and it feels like the wind has been taken out of the sails. The Flames were down 2-0 after the first. Sebastian Aho that's a really nice goal that I think Markstrom wanted to have back. Then you get Markstrom loses his stick, and Calvin DeHaan scores. So it's 2-0 after 1 for Carolina. The Flames respond well in the second period. Hurricanes get the late goal that was called back for an offside. The Flames did a good challenge there. The Flames then kill off 6 minutes of penalties, including a late double minor to Blake Coleman, and then Tyler Toffoli finds a way to score. The Flames are not playing perfect hockey by any way, shape, or form. You're still getting. I still think the first line is finding their legs. Lindholm, Huberdeau, and Toffoli as a line. I still think there's some things that are not working out here. I don't know if they're playing that great defensively, but they are finding a way to win. They're showing resiliency. They're jumping on top. They're getting contributions from somebody. The Flames look like a team right now, at least. They look like a team. They're not spectacular in any way, shape, or form. Still a lot of work to do, but at least a better look from the Flames right now. And you could afford to stumble your way through with a 4-1 start. So, Flames looking okay at 4-1. I wouldn't say that they're great. They've got Pittsburgh tomorrow, and then you've got the Hockey Night in Canada game. You can see Oilers on Saturday. Practice had the same lines as usual. No news there in Calgary for that, but we'll have the Flames podcast on Thursday. We have Matt Dubourg will be scheduled to join at least. So we work that out here, but looking a little better in Calgary for sure than Vancouver. So, but we'll talk Canucks more Tuesday, talk Flames deeply on Thursday. Let's go through the 3 stars of the week and some of the other news. We'll start on 3. Mackenzie Blackwood is the 3rd star of the week. And that was one of the questions with the New Jersey Devils, was goaltending. But he won 3 games, posted a 1.33 goals against average and a .932 save percentage this week. He beat the Ducks. He beat the Islanders on the 20th, and then he beat the Sharks. And it's interesting, lower shot volume in New Jersey here too, so that helps Mackenzie Blackwood. I said I predicted that the New Jersey Devils would be that playoff team, but you need goaltending, and looks like for that case they are getting goaltending there as well. So Mackenzie Blackwood, third star. Brady Tkachuk is the second star. 3 goals, 4 assists. Senators won 3 of their 5 on their homestand. Of course, that wild game against Boston when he had a goal and 2 assists. He also had a pair of assists in 8 shots. And on the 20th, when the Senators beat the Capitals 5-2, scored a pair of goals on on Saturday with a 6-2 win over Arizona. So Brady Tkachuk and the Ottawa Senators starting to pull in that right direction that a lot of people are expecting for the Ottawa Senators. First star, and this guy's just coming to his own. He had a great week. It's Rasmus Dahlin, 5 points in 3 games. The Sabres swept the 3-game road trip. And again, you got to give the Sabres credit for the way that they are playing right now. And I know that most of the focus right now in the National Hockey League is on the Vancouver Canucks, but that is a hardworking, fast team, the Buffalo Sabres right now, that are playing comfortably loose and underestimated. So, of course, he's the first NHL defenseman to score score a goal in each of his 4 games. He then finished it to make it 5. So Rasmus Dahlin is your first star. So Dahlin, Brady Tkachuk, Mackenzie Blackwood, your 3 stars. As for other news, some injury news from Ottawa here. Josh Norris left the game last week on Saturday with didn't look good, as he left it very frustrated as his shoulder was clearly hurt. But he's out 2 weeks. So that happened midway through the third. Derek Brassard will make his debut. He's going to center on a line with Giroux and Alex DeBrincat there. Philip Cheadle of at least 4 games with an upper body injury as the Rangers lose to the Columbus Blue Jackets 5-1. So the Blue Jackets came into the third period with a 3-1 lead against the Pittsburgh Penguins. Collapsed. Penguins came back, win 6-3, and the Blue Jackets respond with a better effort against the New York Rangers. Peter Mrazek is on injured reserve. He injured his groin in a 4-3 overtime win against Detroit on Friday. And Rick Bowness, who has started with the season missing games because of COVID, he experienced dizzy spells today. He had to end his media availability this morning ahead of the game against St. Louis. Questionable if he's available tonight as well. So all the best to him. And Teddy Bluger placed on long-term injured reserve. He is out for he sustained an upper body injury at practice of September 28th. The Penguins recalled Drake Kojula and Sam Poulin as the Penguins dressed 11 forwards on Saturday. Now, the other news is Carey Price. He spoke to the Montreal media today, and he says he has no plans to retire. He says that rehab has been successful, plans to take it step by step. Still having issues getting up and down the stairs. He hasn't played since April 29th of last year. Of course, it was suspected mid-August that he would not, the 35-year-old would be unlikely to play, but Price is saying that he is not planning to retire. Now, that could be, there's a number of different questions with that. I don't know if we'll ever see Carey Price play a game again. Hope we do, but we'll see on that situation what happens there. That could be a situation where the Canadians do use him and put him on LTIR going forward. we'll see about that. Let's get to the games tonight. There is a good chunk of them, and some history will be made as well as we go through tonight here. You've got, uh, let's start in New Jersey. Washington plays New Jersey tonight. Capitals 3-3, Devils 3-2. Charlie Lindgren getting the start in Washington, and looking like Kevin Ball will get the starting goal for New Jersey. Dallas, who has not lost in regulation, or in Ottawa. That should be a quietly interesting game. Scott Wedgwood expected to get the start in Ottawa against Adam Forsberg. The St. Louis Blues and the Winnipeg Jets. The Blues have yet to lose so far this year. 3-0. Thomas Greiss looking like he's getting the starting goal in St. Louis against Connor Hellebuck. And Pittsburgh 4-0-1 against the Oilers, 2-3. Oilers coming off that 2-0 loss to St. Louis. Tristan Jarry expected to get the call and goal here, as it's Crosby versus McDavid. And looks like Jack Campbell will get the starting goal, and it looks like the Oilers are going with 11 forwards and 7D. Marcus Niemelainen getting in. Dylan Holloway out with an upper body injury. Maple Leafs and Golden Knights, special night for Phil Kessel as he ties Keith Yandle's Ironman streak. Both teams come in with a record of 4-2. Samsonov starting for the Leafs, Logan Thompson for the Blue Jackets. And so that is what's at least some of those games going on tonight as well. And see if we've missed anything here as we go through. Yeah, and then of course you got Carolina and Vancouver tonight as well. And so that counts for the 6 games in the National Hockey League today. WHL, will touch on that here as we look. Their player of the week here in the WHL is from the Vancouver Giants. An NHL draft prospect, defenseman Mazden Leslie. I think a lot of people are really excited about him. He had a goal and 5 assists, 6 points for the Giants this week. Ethan Chadwick of the Saskatoon Blades is the goalie of the week. 1.50 in 2 games, goals against average in 2 games for the Saskatoon Blades, as we've got games coming up on Wednesday there. And right now, just looking at the standings overall, the Seattle Thunderbirds remain 8-0, and the Red Deer Rebels are 10-0. So those are the 2 remaining teams in the Western Hockey League that have yet to lose. So that's what's going on with that there. And AHL as well. Let's just touch on that before we go here, as the Abbotsford Canucks have their home opener this Friday. The Wranglers win their first game this weekend as well. Clark Bishop, by the way, suspended 4 games for an incident as well for the Wranglers. It was a match penalty for cross-checking against Colorado on the 21st. So that's that. And the player of the week, though, this week is the Laurent Dauphin. He had 4 goals and 2 assists for the Tucson Roadrunners here. So he's leading. He was the AHL player of the week. No games tonight in the AHL. So that will be the news for today. You can follow us all individually on Twitter. Sean Beardy Canuck 03, Tyler TNOBLE, Devin Gordhouse 09, Christian Schneids, SCHNEIDZ. Follow Fireside Podcast as they do their regular Flames recording. That should be out at some point today. Dan and Matt. Matt will be joining me on Thursday at least. We'll see who else joins as we discuss the Flames on Thursday. Follow me, KVOLE, Shifts and Pucks, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch. Subscribe wherever you get your audio, as well as on the Area 51 Sports Network. Thank you for watching/listening. We will talk to you all very soon. Bye for now.